Warriors star who only has one arm, a player so tall he scares Shaq, and so much more. There's a lot of new players coming to the NBA that the league fears. But first, the Warriors are getting a kid with one arm? His name is Hansel Emmanuel, who at just 6 years old had a wall of cinder blocks collapse on him where it almost killed him, and doctors had to amputate his left arm. Most people would have given up on basketball right there, but instead, he hooped with one arm in the DR and became so nasty that he went viral worldwide. We're talking crossing defenders, breaking ankles, and throwing down dunks, all with a single hand. That publicity caught the eye of Kyrie Irving, who took him under his wing and trained him. So Hansel went from a high school sensation to scoring his first D1 college points with an insane dunk. But college was about to lead him to taking the biggest step of his life, because after holding his own while playing against other stars like Bronny James and Mikey Williams, the NBA was calling, and he was recently blessed with an Exhibit 10 contract to the Santa Cruz Warriors in the G League, which is a deal that gives him a chance to prove what he can do with just one hand at the pro level. So just think about it. A kid who doctors weren't even sure would survive is now one contract away from the NBA. But another upcoming player didn't only just take over NBA Summer League. He said he's gonna be better than Michael Jordan.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, that isn't gonna stop till he does. I mean, we're talking about a dude who was already going viral in high school when he wasn't just bigger than every kid around him. This teenager was throwing self-alley-oops, hitting fadeaways over his opponents, dunking on everyone, and was known as one of the best players in the country. That's why he not only became a McDonald's All-American, he was invited to the Nike Hoop Summit and ironically played in MJ's Jordan Brand Classic game, where he dropped 28 points. Ironically though, a weird connection between him and MJ got so much crazier. Because even though Caleb had offers from nearly every top college in the nation and could have gone anywhere, he chose the University of North Carolina, aka the same college Jordan went to. Here's where this man was instantly throwing down insane dunks, just like Jordan, pulled up from all over the court, just like Jordan, and quickly became one of the best players the school ever seen, just like Jordan. Doing all that and more, on top of setting school records that even MJ couldn't achieve, is why Caleb entered the draft where somehow, someway, the connection between them got more insane. Because with the 4th pick in the draft, Caleb wasn't just drafted by the exact team that Jordan turned into one of the most historic franchises ever. In his very first interview since that, he said, "What?"
So Caleb Wilson, UNC. There's a guy named Michael Jordan, UNC. Caleb Wilson, Bulls. MJ goes to the Bulls. Are there some shoes to fill with that?
I'm writing my own story, man. Honestly, I want to be better than Mike. Honestly.
Yeah. Everyone heard that and instantly felt like,
stop the cap.
Until this man came into his very first summer league and dominated by not only hitting ridiculous clutch shots, just like MJ, Caleb scored 35 points, the most ever by a player in their debut. Then after that, Caleb kept going off, even creating one of the best dunks in G League history.
Cleveland, Wilson, explosive!
Averaged over 2 blocks per game, and was already getting compared to legend Kevin Garnett, aka the Big Ticket, who gave him the nickname Little Ticket. Yeah, I already know NBA players are fearing him just like they did KG, cause Caleb is about to take over the league. But did he do what a 250-pound nerd did? Or break records like another young star who's hated by NBA legends already? Or even become a scary movie star like another young basketball star? Nah, but we'll get to those and more in a second. Cause first, another future star not only almost didn't even have a chance to make the NBA, he almost never made it to America because of a deadly disease. His name is Tunde Yesofu, and after living in Benin, Africa, then moving all the way to the USA for a chance to make the NBA, just days after arriving, he caught malaria, which is a life-threatening infectious disease caused by mosquito bites that can lead to organ failure or even worse, death.
You know, when I get here, I almost die of malaria. Going to Section 7, I was really sick, so I have to go to emergency to the hospital and stay in the hospital for a week. I think that's something that hit me super hard. The doctor told me I was the first case in America actually that had malaria and, you know, almost died from it.
Yeah, so he literally spent his first week in America fighting for his life in the hospital. But luckily, once he recovered, he got right back to work, eventually stepping onto the court for his very first high school game. And here's where he put the world on notice, dropping 20 points, and 2 of those points came from him shattering the backboard with a dunk? Breaking hoops? That's something only legends like Shaq did, Michael Jordan did, even Daryl Dawkins did a few times. So the kid was already destined for greatness in his first game? Well, From there, he only turned into one of the highest ranked recruits in the country. We're talking monster posters, insane highlights, and scoring so much that he became California's all-time leading high school scorer, passing a record that stood for years. That of course earned him McDonald's All-American honors, where he even won the contest. So of course he was going to be invited to a top school in the nation for college. Man chose Baylor and picked up right where he left off. Throughout the year, he averaged nearly 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals a game, while once again making history, breaking the school's freshman scoring record. Man, this dude was easily good enough to declare for the NBA draft right away. But since he got offered $7 million NIL to transfer to St. John's College, it made him actually withdraw from the NBA draft to make plenty of money and prove himself for one more year to up his rank. So now he's hoping another year of development turns him from a potential top first-round pick into an immediate NBA star, which is also what I'm hoping happens to a new Laker that's replacing LeBron and could save the NBA dunk contest. Now listen, I'm not talking about the nerd in goggles who wears number 6'7". We'll get to him in a bit. And I'm also not talking about this other new old man looking ass Laker who was all over my timeline after he hit a big shot in a summer league game, then celebrated by showing the world his shiny bald head. It's actually Adu Thero, who, even though he's been a Laker for a little over a year and made a few crazy highlights in the NBA already, like a one-handed putback dunk on a miss from Bronny.
Bronny James missed it. Oh, the crank by Thero!
He's mainly lived in the G League, looking to prove himself as a player who could stay in the NBA. But everything changed when it was announced LeBron was leaving the Lakers, the team was making a bunch of moves, and spots were opening up. Because when Summer League started, Adu looked like a whole new player. When he got steals, then slammed on people, and caught this ridiculous two-handed lob, then things got even crazier with not just one even better highlight dunk. He had another insane alley-oop before finishing with almost jumping over someone. After watching that, I can see why people were calling him the future of the Lakers and making memes about him being the next LeBron. But wait a minute, there's 4 other new players that NBA players fear, all because of their size? Well, number 1 starts with a hooper named Jagmeet Singh. He started going viral as a 15-year-old when he wasn't just already 6'10". He helped carry his country of India during an international tournament while being taller than everyone in the entire arena. Then in under a year, this superhuman grew all the way to 7'4" with a 10-foot standing reach, meaning he could damn near dunk without jumping. Yeah. And as wild as the name Jagmeet or whatever is, people gave him a new name, the Indian Wemby, even saying we're gonna get another monster like this in the league before GTA 6, cause he also has crazy mobility and a knockdown jumper. That's why he recently moved to the US for high school to keep his hoop dreams alive, where many people are giving him a real chance to get recruited by a top college, then eventually make the NBA. But he somehow still wasn't as tall as player number 2. Meet Jeremy Gohier, kid from Canada who's 7'6", was better than most kids his age, and used to look kinda normal like this. Until he not only showed up one day with one of the weirdest haircuts of all time that looked just like a legendary soccer player. It must have turned him into a demon, cause he started dunking on kids and flexing in their face so hard, they literally looked scared for their life. Just look at this thing. He looks and hoops like a lunatic, but everything he's been doing is why the news has made stories about his dream of making the NBA, and sports shows are already calling him the future of the league, which is kinda crazy to me, cause he's also shorter than player number 3, who wants to become an NBA and a movie star. Robert Bobrovsky is unlike any basketball player you've ever seen. He's a dude from Romania who came to the US to pursue basketball and instantly made headlines for being 7'7". Mans doesn't even fit in normal cars. And yes, this is actually what he looked like in high school. Also, Robert was outplaying everyone he went up against. He played on the same team as NBA star LaMelo Ball, and figured he'd continue down the path of going to college, then eventually the NBA. But things changed when it came to Hollywood. Producers saw how different his entire body was, and didn't just instantly cast him to be this creepy looking monster in an alien movie. He also became a character from one of the most watched movies of 2026, Backrooms. Now, even though it would seem like he found a new easy career as creatures in movies, his main goal is still to make the NBA.
I might make it to the college with a chance to playing there. And then who knows, maybe NBA one day, hopefully.
Yeah. That's the goal, is the NBA.
That's the goal.
But hold on. Would you believe me if I said nobody so far is taller than player number 4 that set a world record? Yeah, this dude's got something long.
That's what she said.
Olivier Rioux was over 6 feet tall at just 8 years old, became 6'10" by age 12, then became the tallest teenager ever recorded, breaking a Guinness World Record in high school at 7'5".
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
The records didn't stop there though, because once he committed to one of the best colleges in the country, Olivier set the record for being the tallest player in NCAA history and tallest to ever score a basket.
A first career point for college basketball's tallest player.
Which makes sense considering he doesn't even look real when he's next to normal people or next to NBA players. There's a reason Olivier made Shaq look small and had him low-key scared, and he's already getting put in NBA 2K early, cause at 7'9", he's set to become the tallest NBA player ever, 5 inches taller than Wemby. But speaking of some other type of size, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Another new player isn't just the complete opposite. Just making it to the NBA will have him set a record that will never be broken. See, getting to the league is the only thing on Darnell Rogers' mind, cause at just 5'2" in high school, everyone told him he'd never be tall enough to make the NBA. But Darnell knew that legends in the past like Spud Webb was 5'9", Earl Boykins was 5'5", and Muggsy Bogues was only 5'3", so there was at least still a chance. That's why Darnell got to work trying to prove everyone wrong, even though not a single opponent he came up against was close to his size, sometimes completely towering over him. Regardless, he continued using his speed, agility, and knowledge of the game to dominate taller competition, where he even got good enough to join Chris Paul's travel team. Whether it was 4-point plays, doing moves you only see in street ball, or locking players up on D, this dude who looked like a middle schooler was proving that size really doesn't matter. But after succeeding on that level, even though Darnell never hit a growth spurt and was still 5'2", he eventually chose to play in college at Florida Gulf Coast, which instantly made him the shortest player in Division I basketball history. Darnell was chasing more than that though, so he ended up transferring to a school where he'd have more playing time to prove himself even more. Then went off in his debut securing a double-double. Just look at him compared to the people he went up against, man. But it wasn't just me who thought the size difference was ridiculous.
5'2".
Look at him.
A floater off the backboard.
He is averaging 14 a night, friends.
Size doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this.
And yeah, once a legend like Tracy McGrady was impressed by him, Darnell got an interview with ESPN because everyone knew that if he gets a chance on a 10-day NBA contract, he would prove himself enough to make the team and officially set the record for shortest player in NBA history. But before we get to the nerd I hyped up a bunch, one other player we're talking about real quick might already be hated by NBA legends.
Pissed me off so much, bum.
Yeah, we're talking about a kid who averaged a ridiculous 25 points a game in college, which broke one of Kevin Durant's records. So it was no surprise AJ Debonsa was drafted with the #1 pick. Those things instantly made him have a lot to live up to, especially since he was the Wizards' first #1 pick since both John Wall, you know, a man who became a legend, and also Kwame Brown, a player who was personally picked by Michael Jordan. Not to mention dude was also joining a Wizards team with high expectations already, because of their stacked roster, as well as superstars in Anthony Davis and Trae Young. But speaking of Trae, what's really interesting to me is he had just changed his jersey number to 3 for the first time. And well, that's kind of an issue, because 3 is the only number AJ wore in high school, college, and any team he's ever played for, but was now forced to change. I already know he felt some type of way about that, but he claimed he was just embracing a new beginning anyways by choosing number 4.
Trae did tweet to talk about 3. Did that conversation happen?
No, I haven't talked to him since the draft, but he's the vet. I'm a respected number, and I work for it this year.
Now things were set and about to go down in Las Vegas. The NBA Summer League was about to begin, where AJ was gonna make his NBA debut, and well, in his very first Summer League game, he immediately took over and not only threw this crazy dunk down, dude kept going off all night long and kept scoring till he dropped 27 points, 7 rebounds, and more while leading the Wizards to a win. Then in his second game, he proved it wasn't a fluke. He picked up right where he left off and did even more, from hitting jumpers to scoring in any way possible, making crazy passes, blocking players like they were nothing. He once again scored 20 plus while carrying his squad to a win again, so well already. The Wizards literally took him out of Summer League right after so he didn't risk injury, because under all the pressure, he looks like he could be a future of the league already after playing in just 2 games. But speaking of ridiculous Summer League players going viral, why did a 240-pound nerd just sign with the Lakers? Well, after the draft, news dropped that this center Robbie Avila got a $1 million contract to play with LeBron. So, no wonder it went viral, and LeBron literally left the team. People started calling Robbie crazy names like LeBron Frames, Larry Nerd, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with announcers giving him another.
There he is, Avila. Milk Chamberlain with the finish. And Shaquille Oatmeal.
I mean, dude's a walking meme, and his jersey number was
6'7".
But was dude actually good enough to be in the league? Well, playing in NBA Summer League is where he did a Michael Jordan-looking layup, made a sexy big man pass like Jokic, had fans chanting his name while he was on the bench.
And we should mention that
while wearing merch of him, and even booed if he didn't get subbed in.
Don't boo him because he's not Robbie.
All that would make you think he's the next GOAT or something, till you realize all he did was put up 2 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists in 14 minutes of his first game. But speaking of new things coming to the NBA, just look at this stadium. And this one, even this one, there's those and more